Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Hegazi, and on behalf of my co-authors at Osaka University, I would like to present our review paper for the multi-objective optimization for building envelopes. So, one of the motivations behind this study is the major role building envelope elements can play in shaping the building quantitative and subjective performance, whether they are opaque or transparent building envelope elements. And as we spend 90% of our time indoors, it's important to investigate the mutual relationship between building envelope design and aspects of visual and thermal comfort, as well as occupants' preferences, along with the subsequent effect on energy performance. And because most of the decision making involving building envelope happens in an early stage of design, architects traditionally had to rely on previous experience and rule of thumb, which is not adequate with sophisticated building designs. Therefore, simulations were introduced as a tool that enable testing of the performance of the initial design and then improve the design based on the simulation results. However, the competing nature of building performance objectives, as well as the time-consuming process to simulate every scenario, makes it necessary to couple simulations with algorithmic optimization processes. In optimization, we can run many simulations with the goal to minimize or maximize an objective value. In multi-objective optimization, a set of parameters, such as window dimensions, are controlled by the algorithm in order to achieve the fittest solutions possible for maximum and minimum of more than one objective, such as the annual solar exposure and daylight autonomy. Therefore, this study aims to pinpoint which objectives are majorly represented in the literature, as well as the parameters of focus in this aspect. The results of this study can guide architects and building physicists towards objectives that are underrepresented in research, as well as what envelope parameters are the most used to achieve these objectives. The study was conducted based on four-phase methodology. First, a set of keywords related to building envelope optimization were selected. Then, reliable research databases were surveyed for all the related published studies. Thirdly, only 60 studies that fulfilled the reliability criteria were included in the study. And finally, each paper was reviewed and a number of related key data, including objectives, parameters, tools, and case studies, were extracted for further analysis. By analyzing the 60 studies, a spike in related publications has been found between 2015 and 2019. Also, by categorizing the investigated case studies, it was found that 55% of the optimization cases were for office spaces, followed by residential buildings. As climate-based simulations play a major role in the optimization process, 15% of the investigated locations within the literature could be found in the United States. However, per continent, 40% of the investigated cases were located in European cities, followed by 34% in Asia, majorly in China. More importantly, for the optimization objectives, a total of 131 objectives could be found within the literature, categorized into 5 major sections, which are visual comfort, energy consumption, thermal comfort, cost, and emissions. The most dominant objectives were those related to energy performance, with 48% in total, while visual comfort metrics came as the second most represented objectives with 27%. However, objectives related to thermal comfort were represented to a lesser extent in a noticeable manner. The investigated parameters could also be grouped into 5 categories, which are the whole building form, outer elements, facade elements, shading elements, and finally insulation. Facade and shading elements accounted for around 81% of the controlled parameters, with a specific focus on window parameters such as its placement and dimensions. So the initial results of this study can conclude the following. The majority of the building envelope optimization studies focus on office and residential buildings, with a high representation of cases in the United States and Europe and an underrepresentation in Africa. Also, minimizing energy consumption comes as the top objective of the reviewed study, followed by visual comfort objectives represented in maximizing useful daylight illuminance UDI and minimizing daylight glare probability or DGP. And finally, the window shape and positioning parameters are the major variables found in the optimization processes investigated in the related literature. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm looking forward to further discussions.